That's
Oh
the
my God.
Chester County 250
No,
group.
we're gonna have people rolling in.
Okay. Oh, there's other people. Okay.
Hey, everybody. And I'm glad because Bobby, Melissa, and Josh and Sue are on together. So that's great. How's everybody doing today?
Fine.
I think.
Well, thanks.
Good, good. Um, well, we shall see. And we'll see how many people show up. If we do not have a lot of people, then this can be a cool planning session for Phoenixville, Schuylkill Township, and Charlestown Township. Um, well, I'll get started, and then if people come in, then we'll get more people in. So I'm Kim Andrews. I think I know all of you. I'm the consultant with the Chester County Community Foundation as their field officer for America 250 Friends. And Paige is on. She is part of the Chester County Community Foundation team and helps make the back end work and sends out invitations and so on and so forth. We're all here because we know that the semi-quincentennial is important and we want to activate Phoenixville, get the Phoenixville area going and find collaborations and find ways to really have a strong, not just 2026, but in Chester County, we get to keep celebrating into 2027 because the Philadelphia campaign of 1777 just rolled right through Chester County. So we are a few people right now. So why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? Bob, you have completely indicated where you're from. Could you tell us? It's easy to guess.
It is. That's why I did it. Usually I wear a colonial t-shirt too, but today's just Mickey Mouse. Um, my name is Bob Trade. I'm the director of programming at the Colonial Theater, home of the Blob. Um, we've already started our 250 with our semi-squintennial film series. We've done Witness, and we've done The Philadelphia Story. It's all movies that are set and based in Philadelphia, so we're celebrating the city over the 1776 because there's only that one musical, which is kind of long, and I love it, but it's kind of not a really big draw for people. So we're working on the next seven movies that we're going to do for 2026, which is Mannequin, Unbreakable, Blowout, more films that are set in Philly that highlight the city. And the great thing about that is we can spotlight M. Night because I think we'll do three of his films when we're all said and done. So that's what we're focusing on, but we are open to ideas. There was one thing suggested about reading the direct Declaration of Independence from the Marquis of the Colonial, um, which is that sounds great. It's very much in the style of how things were done in public forums back then. So we are open to that. As we get, it's right before Blobfest for us, so we do have some flexibility in our schedule, but we are also fully aware of FIFA happening as well as the All-Star game for the Phillies. So we are paying attention to all of those things as well and trying to see if we can somehow broadcast that here. There's all kinds of weird rules for us, so we hope to celebrate America in that way as well.
Well, that's awesome. Do you have the dates for your movies in 2026?
Not yet, because our
Okay.
schedule is it those movies, some of the movies we do want to show on film, which we can still do. So like 12 Monkeys is one we want to do on film because it'll just draw better. Unfortunately, we have a reputation for showing 35 millimeter. Everything that we have on the schedule now, I believe they're all Sundays and they're all digital movies, which if we continue with that format into 2026, it'll be easy to move around, but we have to bow down to money, and concerts for us is a big money maker. For one day we can make what a movie would make in 3 weeks. So we have to be a little versatile in that. So we're still playing around with the schedule. There's not many Philly movies to pick from. We've already done Silverline Playbook. We already did a blaxploitation film called Trick Baby, which was really weird because to see the Italian market like sort of cleaned up in the 1973 was very strange. So we've done a few that led into that, but we've really started in August with Witness, and we've had good turnouts for both movies so far. So we run the ad from the 250, the two gentlemen in the Revolutionary War uniforms walking around, and then we run trailers for the next three movies after that. So we've got The Sixth Sense in October, we've got Rocky in November, and then we'll do Trading Places right after Christmas.
All right, awesome. And I'm going to reach out to you to get those dates so we can put them on our calendar,
Okay.
our Phoenixville
Okay.
calendar. That's fantastic. And then are you looking for with the like a with the Dare to Declare? So everybody knows that there's an initiative that's really coming straight out of Valley Forge National Park. Rose Fennell, who's the superintendent there, conceived this initiative Dare to Declare, which is encouraging public readings of the Declaration of Independence in 2026. And so we have a website where we're putting toolkits together for that, and we're working to encourage all the areas across Chester County to think about how to do that. And we're doing some training. We're making a video. We're making a film with Chester County folks reading the Declaration of Independence, which I suggest rereading it. Everybody, I bought a whole bunch of these little books, and it's big. It's a big thing. It's very powerful right now. Bob, are you looking for partners for a declaration reading?
We are. It's better not to do it just alone. And I know that it was suggested that the mayor would do it. You pretty much can talk Mayor Pete into anything here. Give him a chance to wear his top hat, and he is here. So we're looking for partners for that. We don't want it to be just us because then it's not really the whole community. It's just a bunch of people that we pick. But I'm sure as long as it is, we'll have lots of people that will want to read in one fashion or another. And we're doing staged readings right now of different plays and things. So we're getting a nice cachet of people who are more theatrical and are used to public, speaking and formats and that kind of thing. So
Well, that's awesome. We've broken out the Declaration of Independence into sections. So there's all different ways to divide it up so that folks can read it out loud.
nice.
And there are a couple of very difficult passages in it too. There's one about conquering Native Americans once and for all. There's of course the complete absence of, well, what about Black Americans? What about women? So there's lots of there's some rough points of the Declaration, and it brings up so many good points. What what happened to sorry, I'm laughing because Pete apparently doesn't have a revolutionary outfit, a Continental Soldier outfit. Um,
Oh, he's on. No, he doesn't.
yeah, I mean, this is a priority. So at the end of the meeting, we'll focus on where to get this so we can all outfit ourselves appropriately. But we're putting together some conversation points on how to lead conversations about the Declaration of
Mhm.
Independence, what to expect, what people might bring up, and prompts to ask people to think more deeply about it. So we have that all on our website at a250friends.org. So Bob, that's awesome. So
And
we'll
with our street closures at that time of year, it's not going to be like an issue.
right.
We literally have the street closed right in front of the theater, so it gives us another format. It's just much easier to do. It's just literally picking a date and saying this is the day we're going to do it.
And what day is Blobfest next year?
Lobfest, I believe, is I want to say July 11th and 12th and 13th. Hold on. Blobfest is July 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Okay. And then there was just a question in the chat that popped up. Would the Colonial be interested in hosting a watch party for Ken Burns' American Revolution, the documentary? We're putting together an initiative to encourage contemporaneous watch parties. So Ken Burns, his next documentary is The American Revolution. It's premiering on the week of November 16th over 6 nights, 2 hours each night. And so I'm working on this initiative. We have an info session on how to put together watch parties for yourself, for your organizations. And then we're encouraging the organizations across Chester County to do that. But I actually just got off the phone with the PBS station that has prompted it, and they have screening reels after the premiere week, they have screening reels that they can make available
Okay.
for no charge. The caveat is that you can't charge for admission. You can charge food, you can ask for a donation, but you can't charge admission. So that was a great thought to put out there. So let's
Send me
um,
that information.
mhm.
It's all like booking time. We have our you said it was the 16th?
It's playing live on broadcast starting November 16th, 2 hours each night at 8
Okay.
o'clock. But after that first premiere week, they will have screening reels that they
Okay.
make available to
Okay.
work. Well, the Colonial's a nonprofit too, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, boom.
Yeah.
Um, so they have screening reels available so that it can the watch parties can either happen for those of us that don't have big screens and the ability to replay video well. Well, it's happening during the broadcast, but it's available, and they're going to be supporting it. PBS is going to be supporting that through 2026. So there's
Okay.
no rush on that. It's we're hoping to get people excited about watching the American Revolution documentary while it's happening, so that in Chester County we have that kind of critical mass of
Right.
excitement. But the screeners will be available after that. And the woman I talked to, the marketing person, she says that they're actually trying to encourage that because with streaming, of course, there's always, hiccups and buffering and so on and so
Yep.
forth, so that folks who have screening reels will be able to broadcast it in real time for where they are instead of hoping it comes through the internet well.
Okay. I'll make a note on our calendar, like right now, the 19th and the 20th should be okay. It's just once we hit that, then we hit Wicked and then it goes crazy. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah.
All right, I'll send you that information and then I'll poke you for the night the video excuse me, the film series nights.
Okay.
Good deal. All right, thanks, Bob. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions or partnership offers for Bob and the Colonial Theater? Okay, thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.
Um, we're here. I want to introduce our two of our co-conveners in Phoenixville. We have Tamala Luce, who's from the Phoenixville Community Health Foundation, and then of course Mayor Peter, who's the mayor. It's kind of eponymous. Tamala, do you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. I apologize for being a couple minutes late. Just always glad to be here and hear some really good positive ideas for some of these great events.
And Peter, you want to say hi?
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today. I'm very excited for certainly all of the incredible programming that we'll have over the 250. So thank you all
Great.
so much, and thanks for doing this for the community.
Well, thank you. All right, and let's go through. I spoke with Bobby and Josh and Sue Gould yesterday. Bobby, do you want to introduce yourself?
I am Bobby Riley. I am a resident of Schuylkill Township. I have been trying to get involved in two types of activities. So one is I'm working with the Historical Society of the Phoenixville area. I'm going to let Josh talk a little bit more about that. But I went to them and encouraged them to do either a special short-term display, or maybe it'll morph into something longer term, but a display at their historical society that features 1776, that time period, and have family-friendly activities to do that. And again, set the display up as a couple of month display, or it might just carry over into 2027, which of course is, Southeast Pennsylvania's big hurrah with the Philadelphia campaign. So I've volunteered my services to them to help set up that special display. Independently, I have been trying to find the right people to go to, and I am really glad that Mayor Peter is on with us today. If we all realize that in 1776, collectively, Phoenixville and Schuylkill Township didn't exist. We were at the time part of a collective area known as Charlestown Township. And Charlestown Township came into being with the first survey map that was drawn of this collective area. And it was ordered to be recorded. That survey was ordered to be recorded on May 30th of 1738. May 30th next year happens to be a Saturday. So I am trying to lead the way to have that be a Dare to Declare day in our respective 3 communities of Schuylkill Township, the borough of Phoenixville, and Charlestown Township, to have collectively each of their municipal areas do something with a welcome tent, create online historic places to go visit. Charlestown Township right now leads the way with a pretty decent historic marker map and places. I think they've got 9 places identified within their township. We could easily add on to that and have a big collective tour, auto tour, internet information tour that allows people to collectively go around our municipalities and find out the wonderful things of history that were done back then. And this May 30th date just grabs me that collectively we've got to do something in the community to showcase what we have here locally. I was going to promote the reading of the Declaration of Independence at the 3 municipalities on that day, but I will defer to the Colonial Theater if they want to do it in July or again in July. We can't read the Declaration of Independence enough. That picture a supervisor or the mayor at their respective buildings reading the Declaration of Independence at noon, like was done on July 8th in front of the State House. So I am trying to find somebody in Phoenixville, somebody in Charlestown Township who will partner with me as Schuylkill representative to get our historic sites that we want to showcase identified, get information about them available on our collective websites, and create some way to encourage people to go drive around and see our communities, and then have just a fun collective day on May 30th, 2026.
Thanks, Bobby. That's awesome. That's awesome stuff. Josh and Sue, Bobby name checked you, so why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, so how we know most of you from one place or another. We are here because we're the co-chairs for the museum at the Historical Society of the Phoenixville area. So running the new refurbished museum there. And we've been talking to Bobby on a lot of the things that she just talked about. We certainly are planning to do an exhibit for America 250. The concept at the moment is focused a lot on the movements of the British Army in Phoenixville when they were here in 1777, and the corresponding movements of the Continental Army, in combination with doing some things that are kid-friendly. So I wasn't the one who made this communication, but someone, our past president at the Historical Society, was in touch with someone at Valley Forge Park about borrowing some of the materials that they've used for their kids' camps that allow them to teach folks about loading muskets and how that's done, and wear uniforms. And there was some kind of verbal agreement about possibly borrowing some of those materials. So Jen, I don't know if you are the one that was contacted or if you're aware of that. But that's one thing that we're hoping to follow up on to use as part of our exhibits. So that's what we're thinking about within the Historical Society, and we're definitely in tune with what Bobby's saying and want to support all the activity to identify markers, help get those placed and staffed for something like the May 30th day that Bobby's envisioning.
Thanks, Josh.
Anything else? No.
All right, thanks, Josh and Sue. Melissa, you and I just became acquainted today, so I'm so glad to see you here now. Could you introduce yourself and tell us what your role in America 250 is right now?
Yeah, sure. So yes, as Kim mentioned, this is just hot off the press because we've only been introduced this afternoon. And I am the chair of the Charlestown Township Historical Architectural Review Board, which is different than the Historical Society. But anyway, I am tasked with putting something together for what we're all talking about here. And I really like what Robbie was talking about the May 30th. That sounds really good. You know, we have a lot of maps, we have a lot that we've done in the past. So now it's just rounding up some volunteers. And the fact that you all are doing things I think helps bring to light, because everybody, it helps bring energy and get that all together. At this point, we have gotten so far as, I'm not sure if all of you are familiar with Brightside Park that we have here. So we have three areas that are adjacent to each other. We have Brightside Park, which is, I think it's over 60 acres. So that is a historic, it's still working as a farm and a park. The park part has 1.5 mile walking trail, and the farm itself, we are working the meadows and doing those types of things. The farm has been preserved, and we have visitors regularly. However, we will have to do a lot of mow a lot of fields or change a lot of things to have to receive a lot of visitors that day. On the other side of Brightside Park, we have the Wisner Wrap House, which some of you may know. That was brought as a national in the National Register in 1979. So that's kind of a highlight for us. That being said, I feel a little bit like Bobby feels, and maybe some of you others, is that none of these are ready to be up and running. There's going to be a lot that has to go, happen first. We are looking to kid friendly as well. The EAC is going to combine with us, and we want to teach the kids a lot about what's been going on with our meadows and get them, and because this was an agricultural township primarily, so we want to, make that fun for them. And like you're talking about also, or I think maybe Josh was talking about, bring some other activities that bring the kids together and excite them. We're going to have a map of all 3 of those properties, and kids love maps. So we were thinking about putting some things along to teach them about things. We have the old chicken coops and things like that. But, some of these kids are going to be architects, some of them are going to be engineers. And so all of this stuff that we have that they can look at. And our mill, we have our historic mill that's ready to receive visitors already. And so, yeah, we're at the beginning phases. For sure.
Awesome. Yeah, you have such great assets. Kevin Kuhn took me through the mill when I was in Charlestown to look at Swiss pines, and it is so impressive. The restoration of that mill is just amazing. I got it all documented with pictures and selfies of me inside an empty restored mill.
And we have pictures of it, I think, the progression of it being recovered. So that's to teach the kids about the masonry, all of the different trades that went into that. So.
And and you recently restored the Revolutionary War cemetery.
Yes, the cemetery, and the cemetery is, I don't know if all of you know, the cemetery is right next door to the woolen mill. So that's really great for us. And we were hoping to have the stone walls around that finished, but that's a big project, and that won't be done for.
That's why you can show the kids while it's happening.
That's true. That's true.
Get them to mix mortar together.
Yeah, get them to move some rocks for us.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great, Melissa. Does anybody have any thoughts or comments on what's going on in Charlestown right now?
Well, Melissa, I hope we've become good friends.
Sure. Yes. Yes.
Online, let's talk, let's meet, and find a way to get enough done that we can make a potential May 30th community kind of event possible. And I got some thoughts about how to get volunteers, just get script in their hand, have something on the 30th, but there's a possibility if we encourage everybody to kind of launch something on the 30th and give them the window to July 4th as a time period to go and visit as many of the sites as possible, then they record that in some fashion to some kind of drawings for something or whatever. So I really do want somebody. I'm so glad you're from Charlestown Township. I really need somebody from that. And Peter, we need somebody in Phoenixville to coordinate what we can do for that. We were all a collective area back in that time frame, and we need to showcase that and showcase what our collective areas really meant around that time frame. So I need your contact information at the end here.
Thanks, Bobby. And Jen, you just went on mic. Jen from Valley Forge National Historic Site.
Oh, I didn't mean to, so sorry. But I'm happy to introduce myself for those that
Yeah,
don't
that
know
would be
me.
great. See, you twitched and now you have to introduce yourself and tell us what you're up to.
I love you all. I'm not putting my camera on today just because I just got back from the park with my 2 grandchildren and you don't even want to know what I look like. So my name is Jen McMenamin. I'm a former Valley Forge facility manager for 15 years. I retired last April. And now I'm working with the park as what they're calling as an experienced worker. They brought me back specifically to help be the liaison, coordinator, collaborator with all the partners and help the park get through this 50th anniversary of the park on July 4th, 2026, and then into our 250th anniversary of March In and March Out.
Awesome, thanks. And then I know Josh had mentioned that there had been someone from the Historical Society had been in touch with someone at Valley Forge. Do you know anything about your educational props that
I do not. That would be part of our interpretation program. So Josh, do you remember who you spoke to or emailed?
Yeah, it wasn't me that made the contact, so I'll find out. I'll talk to the person who did and get some names.
Okay, yep, happy to help point you in the right direction.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Jen. And then Sandy, you are a name and just a little microphone. Would you come on and introduce yourself and tell us what your any work that you're doing with America 250 is?
Yes, I'm Sandy Heidel, and I'm actually in East Vincent Township. So I'm Historical Commission of the East Vincent Township. And what we're planning is we have always done a July 4th celebration at the Revolutionary Cemetery on 23, just outside of Phoenixville. And we will continue to do that. The advantage of that is that we start at 9 o'clock or 8:45, and we run it for an hour or just a little bit more. So you can come to that, get your day off to a good start, and then go on. We do have a guest speaker who comes from another historical society that will be a guest speaker. We have music, we have the Legion, and soldiers come. We have taps being played at the end. It's a really nice service. We often will have 100 to 125 people. They actually close off the police close off 23 so that we can park and have, a good ceremony, and then they open it up. Another reason for trying to keep it to, the hour and a half time. We also have the Parkerford Tavern, which is where George Washington troops walked up 724 Old Schuylkill Road, and he crossed the Schuylkill River at the tavern over into Linfield. So we're hoping to get that restored. It's just a slow process. So anyway, it's a wonderful building, basically intact. The walls, the floors, some original windows, and the original door. It's a neat place. I get
That's-
excited about it.
That's
So
awesome.
that's what we have planned at this point. And we're hoping to do something at the tavern, some little something or another, but that wouldn't be until 2027 because he actually crossed it September 17th in 1777. So we're spanning the 2 years.
Well, September 17th is Constitution Day also, so it's a big day in and of itself.
Right.
Have you thought about having a public reading of the Declaration maybe at
Oh,
the
yes, we have.
tavern? Yeah,
We have
excellent.
definitely thought about that. As yes, I don't know exactly when, where, how, but definitely. And if we have something at the Parkford Tavern in 2027, then yes, that would be a part of it as well.
Awesome. Now let me show you. I'm going to share my screen real quick to show you that we have a live bulletin board on our website. Let's see, there we go. Okay, there we go. And so this is again at the A250friends.org website. Phoenixville area has its own section, its own page. This is really the operative part right here is the bulletin board. So what we're going to do, there are a couple of dates that I'll put on here. But the people who are coming to convenings, feel free to go in here. It's editable by any of us to go in and add any events that you have coming up. In this, you can see that we have I put this from as of yesterday. The Historical Society of Phoenixville area is going to have an exhibition. Some of the bigger events, the holidays are on here. So we have Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Flag Day, Juneteenth. Regional activities are here. So we've got everything. This area is going to be crushed next year. The SEPTA better get its act together. We're going to need some public transportation. But there's going to be the PGA Tour at Aronimink. And then this in the green is where I've been starting to fill in events that are happening in Phoenixville. And so, Bob, that's where I'll put the colonial programming. I'll put in the July 4th at the Revolutionary Cemetery in East Vincent. I'll start filling these things in, but you guys can feel free to come in here and make additions. Valley Forge, of course, has got some big goings on. As Jen said, it's their 50th anniversary. They were formed on July 4th. The paperwork, they were signed into being on July 4th. So that's happening. And then here's us to fill in the end of the year after summer's over for Phoenixville. I want to show you some information here that this is on our website, but these are links that might be of interest to you. So there's the Watch Together, as Jen had mentioned. The American Revolution documentary by Ken Burns is November 16th through November 21st this year. And so we're encouraging community organizations to host watch parties and not for 6 nights in a row, but there's episode summaries. If there's an episode that is particularly relevant to your organization, to perhaps host a watch party in person or online. And we have a toolkit around how you can do that. Again,
Did Kim freeze for everyone? Kim, I don't know if you can hear us.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
frozen. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, there she
There,
is.
there she is.
Oh, I froze?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my internet connection has never been unstable here before. It just popped up. So sorry, everybody. This is a first. And I'm a fast talker too. So the upshot is we have this Watch Together initiative, and you can go to this link. And I'm also going to send an email out to everybody on this to see if you want to come to one of the info sessions about it this Friday and then October 6th on Monday in the evening. We have our Dare to Declare initiative, which I talked about quite a bit, and we have toolkits on how you can host your own Dare to Declare initiative at your event at your location. Again, we have scripts, we have tools, prompts, discussion prompts, and how to handle difficult questions and issues that come up. For you guys, one of the advantages of coming to these convenings and being part of this is that your events can go onto our community calendar. This is a link where you can put those events on yourself, and we're also going to be putting them on the Brandywine Valley Tourism calendar. We're going to have some grants available there. So Chester County Community Foundation is making mini grants from, I believe, $500 to $7,500. I don't have I might have spoken out of turn, but anyway, in around those ranges that are going to be available to organizations that have been attending the local convening. So in addition to Phoenixville area, Westchester area has a convening, Southern Chester County has a convening, the Main Line has a convening, and there is another area in Chester County that has a convening that I can't come up with. So those you guys who are participating in these meetings are going to have first shot at those, and the grant proposal or the grant information will come out in October at some point. We're working on getting that together. America 250 Pennsylvania has just launched a grant program for larger events. They're offering $10,000-$15,000 grants for public lectures with community discussions about the revolution and other declaration related topics. And that link is here for you guys to look at. You can go to this and click on that and find out more. It's the application due date is October 17th, so you have to take a look at that soon. The Wish Wall initiative is in tandem with Dare to Declare when there's a reading of the Declaration of Independence. A Wish Wall was an initiative of the New York Historical Society. It's an opportunity for participants or audience members to essentially write out a wish for the United States, like kind of like a birthday card. What do people want? And then it can be posted either on a wall, it can be posted online, it can be hung on a tree or on a plant. I know there had been some concerns that a couple organizations that have tried this already wanted to make sure there were not inappropriate wishes, so they held on to them and reviewed them. And there were very, 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 very few inappropriate wishes. So it really it has seemed to kind of like take hold of people's hearts. And we saw there was an event last weekend where Angela Scully from the Community Foundation, she went to a library event and had a wish wall, and all the children wanted peace for the United States and peace for people around the world. And it was, those of us who have been around see how things, ebb and flow, and that we're at a point again where children just want peace, and that's very, very moving. There's lots of information about that here. And then there's additional links here about the National Constitution Center has some fantastic documentation. And you can get a free calendar, a free civic calendar from them. So I wanted to point this out to all of you so that you can see what's going on. Again, I'm going to fill this out with the information that we talked about from this meeting today. But you can go to our website and look at it and get those resources at any time. Yeah, we're at just before 3:40. Does anybody have any other questions, thoughts, comments, ideas for all of us here? One question I wanted to ask all of you: who else should be on this meeting? Who should be on this meeting who's not here? And if you could invite them, or you can give me their info, or link me. There's Bobby's email. Thank you. Or send me their email, and I will invite them personally, because we want to get as many organizations in Phoenixville in the Phoenixville area to participate and work together to have a great year next year. Anybody have any last thoughts? Okay, well, I have a little notice that my internet connection is unstable again. So I will go out on the street and look left and right and see if somebody's poking at my internet out there. Everybody, thank you so much for coming today. Email me with anything, questions, ideas, anything you need support on. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm looking forward. Oh, Bobby's got her hand raised. Oh, yeah, you're muted.
Sorry. So Melissa, I will reach out to you. Peter, is there somebody yourself or beside yourself from Phoenixville that we can start a conversation about how to create a framework for something that might happen on May 30th?
I'd be probably your starting point. So if you want to reach out to me, I'm going to drop my, if you want to send me a text or shoot me an email, I'll drop it in the chat right now too.
Okay, I can definitely email you. I haven't looked on the Phoenixville Borough site, so I'm assuming I can get you through there.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to put it in the text here too, next to yours.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think if our three entities get together and flush out all the basic who, what, where, when questions as a starting point, and come up with a list of what we can do and what we can all go and start working on, I'd really like to see this something happen on May 30th next year.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing. That's such amazing history.
Yeah, I mean, we can get the original survey, the original survey that was done of Charlestown Township is at the Chester County Historical Society or History Center. They actually have that document. I went and saw it, and I have a picture of it, and we can use that as a starting point to display a copy of all of that. I was actually, Kim, you brought up that September 17th is Constitution Day. I actually had the chance to work at a craft table at the National Constitution Center last week on September 17th. And what they had there was a 4-foot by 8-foot, it would be like a display poster, if you will. And it was the Declaration of Independence, and all the school kids who were coming through that day could sign it. And that was just the most impactful thing. These kids were just writing, you know, you couldn't read the Declaration after they were done with the signing because there were just so many signatures on it. But just as a starting point, if at all 3 of our government buildings, we had that 4x8 display of the Declaration of Independence, that people who were stopping by had the chance to sign it as they then hear about it and then get information about what they can go and see historically in our community. So we just need to get together and put our list together and start doing it, start doing and planning it. So thank you.
I love it. I
And for
love
your
it.
information. Thank you very much.
All right. Any last words? Anybody else?
Just thank you for hosting this,
Oh my
putting it
gosh.
together.
I'm
Thank you.
glad everybody was here. It's good to see all your faces. We'll try to round up some more Phoenixville area folks next month. It's the 4th Tuesday at 3 p.m. And I'm gonna, just as I harassed all you by email, I will harass the rest of them until they show up. And thank you so much. Keep up the good work and let me know if you need anything in the interim. Bye, everybody. That went well, although there weren't many people there.